I won't stand for this, he said, sitting down. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Today I want to talk about 3v3 teams for my alternate account, which is, this is going to be my Professor X account, my 9 million account. I only have 3 Galactic Legends, and the idea is we're going to be able to beat other Galactic Legends. They call it my big game account, my big game hunting account, sorry, because we are always trying to hunt Galactic Legends that are, with off-meta counters. And so that's what we're using, off-meta everything. The season is particularly challenging for that mentality. We only have 3 Galactic Legends, and we're going to be facing people with 7, typically. I'm in Kyber 2 with this account, even though we only have 3 Galactic Legends. And the question is, how in 3v3 are we going to be able to take them out? I'm not totally convinced this is going to be a great couple seasons for us, but we're going to look at things and hopefully find a few ways around it, and at the very least, hopefully just tread water. Stay in Kyber 2, hang out, get to where we need to be, and then hopefully we get a better Datacron set later. But that being said, folks, let's I guess first let's say thanks to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. I truly appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you guys so much. Truly. You are all amazing. And just want to remind you folks, if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that like button, subscribe, comment, do something like that to mount the algorithm, guys. It's a good time. It's fun to mount the algorithm, I've heard. Even in 3v3. In fact, some might say mounting the algorithm is the only good thing about 3v3. So don't miss out on your chance to enjoy 3v3 by mounting the algorithm, guys. Let's get going. Whoa, we're in the freaking game. This is madness. That's so crazy. How did we end up talking about Datacrons here? So here's the thing, guys. I don't like to really especially on this video, I go through all my offense and defense teams for this account and just try to refresh people on 3v3. And the thing about this is, Datacrons, I try not to belabor the point on Datacrons on these videos, specifically for this account, because I know not a ton of people are necessarily going for Datacrons at lower levels. And I'm not trying to say you have to get Datacrons. What I'm trying to say is you have to know that you'd be well advised to, well suited, something to get a few Datacrons, guys, at level 3, and just try to get this one ability here. 15% max health and max protection for each other. So it's not just each other dark side ally. The way it reads, it's dark side and it's light side. Level 3, for whatever reason, they have just not applied these things to, they're not using dark side ally, and they're not using the other either. So instead of it being like 30% max health and max protection for people for like a fully dark side squad, instead what it is 45% max health and max protection for even a mixed squad if you want. As long as you have one dark side character in there, you get the full thing. So like a Starkiller squad, for instance, if it has light side and dark side in it, it's going to get the full amount anyways, the full 45%. And this is crazy impactful, guys. Not to mention the stats that you can get here are all very defensive. So you're adding 50% essentially extra hit points to every character that has this Datacron, just to level 3. Not to mention, you also have a couple rolls on health, protection, defense, health steal. All of these stats are really strong. I would say like offense and crit damage are almost the weakest of the whole set, and there's not really a way to mitigate all this extra bulk that you're adding. And so if you could somehow, I'm really not advocating this, but if you could somehow just get 30 of these, that's the maximum you can hold, but if you get 30 of these types of crons, it would be very powerful for you, assuming you have the right squads to be able to apply them. So that's going to kind of, and it's going to set the tone for the rest of our discussion on what squads we should be taking. And I only have 4 of them right now, and actually one of them I haven't been able to reroll into submission yet. In fact, I think one of my level 9s I haven't even gotten there. So this account, it's a little bit hypocritical, but that's mostly because I didn't communicate well with Sarah, who's running Conquest on this account, and it's not her fault. So it's no one's fault, guys. Look at how close I am to getting Leviathan. Not very close, huh? Just 6 characters is all we have left. Though really, we're getting close-ish. I don't know. Another month or so, we'll be there. Alright, you guys didn't need that update, but you got it anyways. Okay, so let's get done with the Galactic Legends here. At this point, most people have a few Galactic Legends, and if you don't, the characters that these ones use are kind of just a little bit, I don't know, like they're like kind of just good with these characters anyways. Like, you could find a use for Hermit Yoda elsewhere, and honestly sometimes I do. I tend to keep most of my Galactic Legends for offense, frankly. I think for 3s especially, you just need that extra flexibility because people are starting to place some really crazy teams, and it's good to be a little more flexible. We have this Jedi Master Luke team with Jolee. Jolee's kind of weird in 3s. In 5s he's good because he's not as much of a focal point. You have to remember, in 3s your whole team is I mean, you need multiple roles being played by each character in order to really accomplish what you're trying to do, because not only is 3s limited on how many characters you can actually use on offense and defense, even though it looks like you have more teams, I mean, and you do have more teams, you end up using far fewer characters than in 5v5, and therefore some of the characters you just sit on the bench. Like my Relic 8 Cassian just sits on the bench for this mode, because where else could he be used? Like, he only does a couple things, and Jolee's kind of that way in a way. Like, he's like, hey, I revive people, isn't that enough? And it's like, well, I don't think so. Like, that's all you do, really? Like, can you do anything else? But if you put him with a Galactic Legend, that changes things, because then the Galactic Legend can call Jolee to assist, Jolee can call other people to assist, and they all do a crazy amount of damage. Like, this isn't a high damage dealing team until you take into account Jedi Master Luke's leadership ability, in which case it's like, well, Jolee, in a way, like, his revive isn't even that super important. You're just, I mean, it is if they manage to, like, snipe out Hermit Yoda or something, but the team is really good on offense, frankly, and probably just worth keeping as is. I mean, you could add Old Ben here. You could add, like, I really like Shock T. Like, Hermit Yoda can go with, like, Jedi Luke if you guys really want to. I know a lot of people really love the Jedi Luke Hermit Yoda duo in 3s. You could do that. And that's the nice thing about 3s. If you keep a lot of things for offense, is you have that flexibility available. Now, Jabba is the one team, if you've been following what I'm saying, I'm just thickening the squad as much as possible, just trying to make them just disgusted, like, right, and now we're incentivized by the raid to do it. I'm a little annoyed by that, because I really liked being able to, like, just say, like, guys, you need more relics on this team, and now people are gonna listen to it because of the raid stuff. But for PvP reasons, you really want them to be really high relics. That's why Kersantin's 9, this team in 3s, is pretty obnoxious to beat, and I like to put it on defense, because if you think about it in terms of, like, how many teams can this team beat on offense, like, it can beat one team on offense, and it doesn't even beat all the Galactic Legends in 3s. If you put it on defense, however, it can beat as many teams as your opponent throws at it if the RNG is correct for you. So I do like this on defense. I put it in the back zone usually, so that my opponent uses a lot of good squads on my front zone, which isn't a super easy squad, or a super easy zone. hopefully they've used one of their very few Jabba counters, and hopefully they haven't scouted me, because typically I just place one defense and then leave it, since I can't afford to scout with my alt too much, to be honest. Jedi Master Kenobi, he's pretty vital for offense, honestly, guys. He's one of the very few characters who can beat Jabba with one shot, and he'll beat Riva if you need him to. He'll beat Rey if you need him to. Hopefully Starkiller's still up to the task this season, even while Rey has a way bigger health pool. We'll just have to see how that goes. Jedi Master Kenobi with Cat, just a really strong combo. And if you don't have Kenobi but you do have Cat, you could throw her with like Padme or something. I don't know. Put her with Dash. Dash would actually be a really fun place to put her. Otherwise, you could put Mace with this team, and Mace I think is just a little bit better against Jabba, frankly, against Jabba comps. But that being said, like Mace is, he does okay. He does fine there, but Jedi Master Kenobi, General Kenobi doesn't go as well with like other teams, really, like especially the teams that you want Mace to be on. And so I typically just put Kenobi here with Kenobi. You can just have a cat sandwich with Kenobi bread. Is that a thing anymore? Do people say things like that? Apparently I'm a person and I said a thing like that, so apparently that's okay. Oh, because I said so. Jedi Revan with Jedi Luke and with Mace. So this is the opportunistic team, right? Like if you find a Malgus team that's pretty deficient and weak, you can go in and just, you'll kill his sides as quickly as you can, and then Malgus is tough to kill, but you can reduce his max health and max protection to the point with Luke's AoE stun, which doesn't actually stun Malgus, but it does decrease his max health and protection. And Mace also has his Shatterpoint ability that gets rid of max health and defense, so that you can eventually take him out. Jedi Revan lead is probably the best for that job, frankly. Just remember, you don't want to debuff that Malgus team too much. Otherwise, this team still destroys a lot of things, and if you really want to, you can break it into more component pieces. You can take Mace out, you can put Bastila in, you could even take Jedi Luke out and put him with Hoda if you really wanted to do that. And then put Basti here. Like there's a lot of different mixes and matches, and that's another reason why you want to keep a lot of Jedi for offense, honestly, guys. The mix and match is really nice. The General Skywalker team, I'm hoping this is going to be the season of General Skywalker. Like giving him a bunch of extra defense and protection is always really nice, and I'm hoping he's going to be able to take down Malak teams pretty nicely, or Malgus. I mean, they could be both. Why not both? But I've been trying to use this squad as a Malgus killer anyways, and I think that this new Cron set is going to give us the boost to be able to do that. I don't know if I have I don't have enough Crons for that right now, but I think I will save one. I'll reserve one for him regardless, because he's going to be pretty good, guys, I think. So keep him for offense. I think we have to find some other teams for defense, I guess. But yeah, he's good on both ends of the floor. I think this season, if you give him the extra health and protection cron, and then try to get him either some defense or more protection stat, he's going to really benefit. We have Shaak Ti here with some worthless clones. I mean, you guys can see I don't have them at higher relics, even though they're requirement characters for other things. I just don't have a lot of Galactic Legends yet, obviously, on this account. And so Shaak Ti with these two is pretty good. I know on my other account I tend to put Shaak Ti with Bad Batch clones, but I mean, I'm not even doing that this season on any of my accounts, because Bad Batch are just, they're going to be worth quite a bit because of their percent health, or their percent damage, stuff, their kits, and the fact that they can do true damage. It's just pretty important. Pretty important stuff to be able to keep Bad Batch available for offense. And so Shaak Ti with Echo and Arc, don't kid yourself, this team isn't good. Like, it's just like, well, Where are we using any of these otherwise? And the answer is probably nowhere. You just put them on defense and wait for your opponent to 57 them, and you just move on. All right, that's the best thing. And every once in a while, after like 3 or 4 seasons of never getting a hold, you can tell people this team never gets a hold, and then you'll get a hold on it because for whatever reason, karma works for that squad. It's been a few seasons since I've gotten a hold with them, but one season I was like, nah man, they haven't gotten a hold ever. And then I got like 7 holds that season. It was crazy. It was the summer of 7 holds. No, I doubt that. I bet I'm exaggerating is what I bet. Qui-Gon, this stock is down on this a little because if everyone's going to have a ton of health and protection on their crons, like this team just doesn't do enough damage to justify it in some ways. That being said, we're in Kyber 2, and a lot of people just aren't going to be using those crons, and they still, for whatever reason, don't know how to beat Qui-Gon. Like this team is an enigma to many people. In Kyber 1, I feel like people are starting to figure it out. Kyber 2 even as well, but this team still just prints wins. Honestly, you just need them to be really fast. Remember, you need them to all be somewhere in the area of like, they need to be faster than Echo, than your opponent's Bad Batch Echo. And look at that, I could even make Ki-Adi-Mundi faster if I wanted to. Let's see what. So he's at 282. He's plus 80 speed, guys. So he's at 362 speed, which is faster than most Echoes. Should I just upgrade this in person right now? Let's see, give him some offense, or yeah, let's just upgrade this mod, shall we, guys? Let's just do it. I have a ton of these mods. Oh, I'm short 1. What? Should I just totally derail it? Should we just do like a modding guide right now? Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, fine. I'm not supposed to spend that energy, but let's just do it. Okay. All right. Can we roll it one time? Let's get speed on in one time, or offense. Speed or offense. Or crit chance. All of these are good, except for tenacity. Don't roll tenacity, please. Oh, some speed? That's okay. I mean, it's become a not very efficient speed rolled mod, but that's all right. And we got him some extra offense too by upgrading that. So honestly, we should probably have something with % offense on this diamond. Apparently, I'm just not that cool of a person, but now, okay, he's a little bit faster. The whole team, though, guys, needs to be, so he's plus, Ki-Adi-Mundi's plus 80, everyone else is plus 60 on this team. So Anakin, not nearly as fast. We don't have any mods we can give him there. Qui-Gon Jinn, whew, he's actually pretty quick considering we have 3 non-6E mods. Remember, he's plus 60 from here, so they're all in the same ballpark, right? All the correct ballpark. Put them on defense. Watch your defense count rise over the course of the season. Last season, in 3s, they did get quite a few holds for me, if I remember correctly. Now, I do have Riva. I think a lot of people are starting to get her, and I hope you are too. If you don't have Riva, but you do have Grand Inquisitor, I still feel like this whole team is just an offensive team. Though if it's just Grand Inquisitor, you can gamble. If your opponent looks like they don't know how to use Adrad very well for offense, then you can put Grand Inquisitor on defense, and I mean, it's just not as strong. Without a really good Datacron, it's just not as good. Like a Jedi Revan team, like Jedi teams, will kill Grand Inquisitor at this point. On offense, though, especially if you have Riva, like Riva's still gonna kill a lot of different stuff. Won't kill Jabba, won't kill Rey, or let's see, is that it? Maybe Supreme Leader Kylo? I think maybe you'd be okay against Kylo on some levels, because he can't stun you with Riva lead. It seems like there's one other Galactic Legend you just can't roll over, but I'm struggling to remember it. But I guess my big point, though, is this team does really well on offense, and on defense it just gets beat by Traya, which, I mean, Traya's still a good team, but it's more fun to use it for offense, frankly. And you have decent mana recovery with 7th Sister. You're going to be able to heal yourself a little bit. It's not as much of a world beater as everyone kind of says it is, but Riva squad's pretty good. So is GI on offense. It's a good squad. I think in general, I would my split would probably be, if I have Riva, which I do, keeper for offense. If you have Grand Inquisitor, I would just put Grand Inquisitor with 7th Sister and probably like 9th Sister on defense, and hope your opponent doesn't, like, hopefully your opponent just puts Adrad on defense like all the other awesome people in this world. Speaking of Adrad, remember guys, you need a tank for him. I've said it a million billion times. Remember, if you watch me on Twitch, which you guys can find the link to my Twitch in the video description, and it's free to watch there. It's super easy to get set up. Come hang out and just chill with us. You know, we're busy. We're busy folks. So I play 2 or 3 accounts every GAC match, and I explain what I'm doing. We go over things. A whole big range of different accounts that we're facing. It's a lot of fun, and I haven't been posting my GAC stuff on this channel as much. So if you want to see me live on GAC, that's the place to be, guys. It's the place to do it. So video description, go follow me on Twitch. It's a good time. It really is. Yeah, it doesn't cost money to go. Though, of course, support, donations, and everything are enabled there if you guys so desire. That being said, Adrad on defense needs a tank, guys. If you give your opponent the chance to just shoot the fish guy in the face instantly and without any kind of breather, like he has ways of like recovering his health and protection, but he needs a breather, and so you need to break up the action with some kind of tank. Scarif Rebel Pathfinder is probably the 3rd best tank for it. K2SO, if you have K2SO Relic, is probably better, as well as Baze is probably better as well than Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. That being said, SRP actually won me a match recently because they couldn't get through this team. They couldn't get through it, and maybe K2SO would have also done it. But this team, I think it was it last season or a season before that, like, people just couldn't kill this team on defense. And it was like, oh, I guess I'll win. No problem. Thank you. Like, they killed my Jabba and everything. Then they were going to go in for the win, and they couldn't because this team blocked them. So you need a tank, guys. Moral of the story, absolutely need a tank. Otherwise, you open yourself for all sorts of unpleasantness. People still beat you with a lot of different stuff. This isn't a world beater team on defense necessarily, though it is much stronger than it looks. But you're gonna have good things if you have a tank, and if you don't have a tank, you're gonna have bad things. And I'm rooting for you. I want you to have good things, so put a tank on the squad, damn it all. Alright, Darth Malgus. On my main account, what I did was I split Malgus off from Darth Revan and Bastila. So this is the all-time best, or I don't know if all-time is the right word for it, the right phrase, but it's the best version of Darth Malgus in 3v3. It defends against the most things, and it has the highest, hold rating, all that stuff against teams. Like, if people don't use a Galactic Legend, this team just doesn't really die unless you find a way to zerg it down with, like, bounty hunters. You have to, like, send in some burners for cooldown reduction or increase and everything. Like, it's a very tricky team, and so that's why I have it like this. The thing is, at this point, if everyone is going for Leviathan eventually, we're all going to have a Relic 9 Darth Revan and a Relic 9 Malak, and especially with this Kron set, I really do like the idea of Revan, Basti, and Malak hanging out together, just all on their lonesome, and then Malgus going, tempting people, baiting people into trying to use like a Jedi team that might just time out or something. Because the Darth Revan team is vulnerable to Imperial troopers. The problem with it is, of course, that Imperial troopers just aren't going to be able to punch as hard, and against Relic 9 Malaks with an extra 50%-ish health and protection, it's going to make Malak much more difficult to punch in the face. It's already tough to hit him in the face because he's already got a smaller face than most due to the fact that he has no chin. But his face is very punchable, and it's nice to put Darth Revan with him. That being said, on this account, I think I'm going to end up with this split again anyways. And then I don't have a great place to put Darth Vader on my main account. I'm putting Darth Vader with, like, with a Relic 7 Zalbar and Mission seems kind of good. like putting him with a Gear 12 mission in Zalbar seems less good. And so Darth Vader with Malak, not too bad of a combo. And then Talon here as well, making him more tanky with the cool Datacron set is probably good, because Darth Vader's main weakness is that he's pretty squishy, and Talon actually helps with that as well. She's defeating turn meter. She does a lot of cool stuff, and I don't have Sid the Eternal Emperor, so I'm not really missing any of that stuff here. This is probably going to be good for them. I'll use it for offense most likely, though there's an off chance I just throw it on defense and see what happens. I'm crazy like that. Another place you could put Vader in threes is probably with like IG and Queel, because they have a pre-taunt, and they also generate damage over times, and those damage over times don't go away. So pretty good stuff. Jedi Training Rey. If you have Rey, I think generally I would advise just ditch BB-8 and throw Jedi Training Rey and Ben on, with Rey. If you don't, this team is probably not that good, but you can use it all the same. Look at that, BB-8 even has its its finisher piece. I'm trying to get BB-8 to relics because I would really like BB-8 to go with General Grievous to be able to take down the vile Starkiller squads that we're starting to see in 5v5. So that's like a back burner project for me on this account. But we have Ben, don't have Rey, so may as well throw him with Jedi Training Rey. No Omicrons on this squad. I'll put him on defense, and so people just can't get out of their own way, and they'll find a way to lose this fight. For somehow it's like, really, how did you lose that? And they're like, I don't really know. I don't rightfully know. I'm like, all right, well, I'm glad you did lose, so there's that. Thank you for losing. It's wonderful of you. We have, not wonderful skill-wise, by the way, just character trait. We love that. Love that when people are willing to do that. Okay, we have Maul here. I don't know, so Canderous, they actually, I don't know if you guys noticed or not. I think in one of my recent videos I did point it out, because I didn't notice it. They fixed the verbiage so that all of the turn meter gain, whenever an enemy is damaged by an attack, Canderous gains 8% turn meter. They changed the verbiage to actually reflect what actually happens, which is nice. Canderous, however, yeah, you probably want to make him a little faster in threes. If you do with Maul, you need someone to start the turn meter madness, and armor can be that. I don't think my armor is that fast on this account, honestly. She's getting there. She's getting a little bit better. I think the crate raid has been a good influence on her. It's pushed her to heights unrealized until now. So yeah, she still needs some decent, a few better crons. Dear Lord, 20 speed on 5 rolls. That's because I have one that's 16, or so that's 18 speed on 5 rolls, which is even worse. But anyways, armor, guys, is she a traitor? Is she a bad guy? Let me know in the comments. If she has those spikes on her head, people are like, ooh, she's Maul's crony, but there's no evidence to suggest that she's actually a bad guy, really? And the game says she's light side, so clearly CG can't be wrong. I'd like to know, though. Armor, you just need someone fast here, guys. If you have a fast Droidica, that works. If you have Watt available, that works. I think I put Watt with stupid, what's his name, the spider guy, Spider-Man. Yeah. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Probably for offense, though. And honestly, I think that this is the best team. One of my favorite teams to just kill, like Adrad or something. It's not a world beater anymore. If you can spare Bando for it, maybe Bando would be a good third. I don't know. I always feel sad, guys. We got Canderous to Relic 7, and because of the awesome Datacron, made the team so good. The level 3 Datacron and the level 9, the whole thing was so amazing. It was a golden era for Maul and the Maldalorians, and now they're just now we're just butchering fish. It's just kind of sad. Sad state of affairs. Maul would love to go with Lord Vader right now if I had him, but I don't, so I guess you could just slum it with Armorer, who also, I don't have Sid the Eternal Emperor, so Armorer is available. If you guys have more Galactic Legends than me, this team might not exist in the same way. Canderous is like, hey, did you know that I have a Datacron? people are like, no, I had no idea. All right, we have Veers with Dark Trooper and Piet. Like I've said in other videos, maybe even in this one, this squad just isn't. The stock is dropped on this a little bit because you're doing the same amount of damage as always. I guess you could give them a cron with a little bit of offense or whatever, but they just aren't hitting as hard because there's no cron to support them, but there's a ton of crons to support your opponents being more tanky. So just be careful with this squad. It's still going to be good. I probably should swap Piet's mods back onto him. Right now, Piet is lending them to Iden. Not Iden? Yeah, to Iden. Because 5v5 you can kill Lord Vader, but that's not really the case right now with Piet and company in 3v3, so probably should make him faster. Just remember you need a bridge character for this as well. Even though he's really fast, you need someone who, after they gain 20% turn meter, will be about the same speed as Piet started at. So there's that. CLS also dropped a step. It's still going to be good though because people are going, like, you're doing percent health damage with exposes, and it's still going to be good. It's just not going to be great. It's not going to be a world beater that just destroys. Well, I don't think in 3s it killed Jabba anyways, but it was a very good squad in 5s and in 3s as well. And now, I mean, if you put a good turn meter or a good cron, a good level 3 cron on them, they're still going to be really tough to kill. Like, usually you could just use a troopers team to take out Commander Luke. Now, if you make them really super tanky, you're going to eventually be able to roll over whatever teams you're facing because they can't kill you anyways. Like, despite the fact that Chupiocron is gone, the level 9 or the set 9 Datacrons with level 3 kind of make this team a similar level of survivable. Okay, so Starkiller, we're gonna just see. I hope that this team kills Rey. I'm really hoping it still does, even if Rey has the really good Datacron. I think we can. We're like the little engine who could. I think we can, but I'm not totally certain. So stay tuned for that one, guys. Maybe we'll just end up rage relicking him further and getting in our own way, trying to relic or get ready for Leviathan unlock. Okay, so Basti, she's relic 7 now. Hey, look at that. She's still with the same old suspects. This is a decent squad for her. Frankly, it's not a world beater team. It's like, well, hey, welcome to the club of leftover Jedi. Like, Grandmaster Yoda can go with Jedi Master Luke pretty well. So you can really just swap in whatever other Jedi. I think on my main account I'm putting the other Togruta Jedi, Shak Ti, in here instead of so then we have a dispel for all 3 of them, and you know, you can do some interesting stuff. You have offense up from all 3 of them. Well, I don't think Snips does it. I think I said that in my other video too. I'm good at that apparently. It's a good squad to kill bad squads. You know that Shak Ti squad with a couple clones? Like, this team will beat it probably. You know, yay! That's what you were hoping for, right? So it's fine. I know she has a new Datacron that's actually fairly interesting, but that Datacron's broken right now, and there's no Old Republic to go with her right here. So I don't really plan on using that Datacron with her, really. Not in 3s. In 5s, yes. In 5s, if they can fix that cron, then probably. All right, Bando with Han and Chewie. Now, I think so this little triangle or diamond here, whatever shape this is, guys. Who doesn't know their shapes? Raise their hand. Apparently not me, but Bando with Han and Chewie. This is my favorite version of it, though. You can really take Bando out and add, you know, like a Greedo lead, a Boba lead, like some lead that just gives them an offense boost. Like even Kira, I think Kira works as well. My Kira is not relicked on this account, so we can't really do that. But Bando and Han and Chewie, they'll take it out a lot of stuff. They're good on defense as well. Just a lot of really good synergy. Like he's able to keep them alive longer. He's able to, he gets a lot more whistling birds because Chewie does multiple instances of damage every time he shoots, and he's always assisting against both of them, and there's no way to crit Han or Bando while Chewie's alive because of guard. It's all a lot of cool synergy on that squad. that being said, like, he might be needed for counter to Lord Vader, which, I mean, if you need that, then you need that instead. And then you're left with Greedo as the lead, and Han's like, really? You're the leader? This is embarrassing. Dash with Vandor, and I was using young Lando, and he's not terrible here, but honestly, more and more in threes, I don't use Nest to kill stuff. Like, people just make a Nest protected zone for the most, like, not just zone, but like board. Like, you can't really use Nest to solo anything anymore in threes, not in Kyber 2 or higher, but Nest is really nice with Dash, because the way her thing reads here, check this out, her unique, so you know she ramps damage over time. The thing that I didn't necessarily notice was so it's not just every time they lose a buff. Whenever an enemy loses a buff or debuff, Nest gains +2 crit damage and health steal. And the really nice thing about that is that Dash causes a whole crap load, even a buttload, of debuffs to people, to everyone. And so he actually just passively ramps Nest really nicely, even if your opponent doesn't have a bunch of buffs that they're getting. Dash ramps her damage anyways, so it's just kind of a fun thing. Bobo with IG and Quill it's a fun combo. You can clean up Lord Vader's with this. You know, assuming Lord Vader has the Datacron from set 8, then they're going to be very tanky and very tough to kill unless you have someone who can execute them, like Boba, and all those stacks of protection actually become a liability at that point. You can't one-shot Lord Vader with this, but you can kill, as long as you can kill the ads with a different squad, this team will clean it up pretty nicely. Mothra with Kylo Katarn, I'm excited, guys. I actually gave Biston some mods that are okay. I don't know how much I love crit damage set on him, honestly, but I did manage to actually give him a cohesive set, which is more than I can say for my main account, Biston. I do like this team for, it'll kill a few things, different opportunistic targets, but it's not a world beater. It's fine. It does okay. It cleans things up nicely sometimes. Okay, so this is why we have, unique only. If you need Fennec, if you need to kill Lord Vader with this squad, then go for it, guys. Just go for it. Hopefully you kill the ads at least, and then if Lord Vader is tough to kill, then you know that you can call Boba with IG and Quill over to finish the job, and then you've killed Lord Vader with an off-meta counter without resorting to, I don't know, the unpleasantness of using a Galactic Legend. Alright? Let's see. Aura lead with Bosk and Matt. This is kind of just a crap team on it. Like, it's okay. But, I mean, the idea is just you're going to be taunting with Bosk, and you get the contract, and have Mando kill everyone. I guess Aura can actually do a fair amount of damage herself if she's kind of allowed to, but mostly it's just a vehicle to get Mando to disintegrate. Wow, look at that. I didn't even spell meh right. Well, I guess I did. Kind of. It's like kind of an E looking thing. But Trench with Watt. I don't love that we're using Watt here. Maybe I mean, I just don't love Trench, frankly. You could give him a lot of different characters. I know a lot of people are just putting like Geo Brood Alpha with the squad and stuff, and that works. It's just I don't have a good Geo Brood Alpha on this account, so this is okay. Keep it for offense, maybe, or I don't know. The Spider, it's just kind of such a disappointing squad, guys. Grievous, I mean, maybe we could just smash the two of these squads together and make one half-decent squad, but Grievous without a really awesome Datacron is back to just wishing he was amazing. If you can find a Kron that has a huge amount of health for it, then he's going to be able to punch pretty hard, at least. In threes, though, he's just not as good. You can throw him on defense if you need some kind of I don't know, just a team that people are... I don't know, that people are just not going to use anything. They're just going to use Wampa. That's what they're going to use. They're going to use Wampa, and you're going to get sad because they get max banners against it. So put it on defense, keep it on your bench. I don't care. I just wanted them out of my. I was making all these new squads, and I was like, oh, he like keeps perpetually being in the top group at this point. So just make a squad for him. Shut the game up a little bit. So everyone should once you get Sortie, or once you get Leviathan. And everything, like Sortie is one of the requirements for Leviathan, is what I'm trying to say. And so I think that this is the squad I'm going to be using this season for it. IG-88 does fine with Sortie. Has some interesting interactions with, like, Sortie does target lock, and he makes it so that where is it? Yeah. So his Zeta gives target locked enemies can't recover health or protection. So I mean, they can get rid of the target lock. It's not undispellable or something, but has some okay things. Droideka here, I mean, he's relicked because, and you know, because he has his Omicron for territory wars. That's basically it. Let's see, Wampa, you know what he does. He makes people sad if they have Grievous. Traya, probably for offense this season. If your opponent has Riva, then you want her for offense because she'll kill Riva. If they don't have Riva, you can put this on defense, and this gets a lot of holds. People have to use a Galactic Legend against it. It's basically as effective as a Galactic Legend on defense without actually using a Galactic Legend, but of course it will also just kill a lot of stuff for offense. So whatever you choose, this is probably the right choice for Traya, especially if they have Riva and they put Riva on defense. Padme with, like, so this Gidme team, I've actually been able to make Gidme fairly quick at this point. I mean, 353, some may argue, some may dispute his quickness, and we'll be able to get him another 8 speed once we get another fusion thing. Looks like I'm just about done with the favorite, like with those for as requirements for Leviathan, so who knows, maybe he'll be the next Gear 13 on this account, but one way or another, remember that with this new Kron set, everyone's going to have extra health and protection, and if you're doing a lot of damage based off of max health and protection, it doesn't really matter what their numbers are, because you're just doing, like, Courage just takes out, you know, 40% of their max health, and so, you know, Gidme really boosts that. You guys, if you haven't seen that squad in action, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can try just searching on YouTube, like, just search, like, Zareth, and then Gidme, Gidme, or yeah, Gidme, Gidme, because you can find out the mechanics of it. But basically, he just super boosts their ability to generate courage. And courage is the thing that does % health damage. Alright, so we're back to GL Newt. I don't know if I'll put this on offense or defense. It's kind of been solved on defense, though a lot of people in Kyber 2, Kyber 3 level don't really know how it works still, and so you can put it on defense and get a little bit of mileage out of it. Honestly, there's not a really great place for all these characters anyways in 3s, so you might as well stick them together. They also do beat, like, Tuskens, for what it's worth, on offense. Like, they can beat Tuskens, not every time, but it's a pretty good squad. Here's just my leftover Inquisition. I'll probably put them on defense. I'll put them next to Shock T, and they can just dare each other to get holds. They're like, no, you get a hold. No, you get a hold. It'll be like that stupid, no, you hang up first thing, except that neither of them will actually get holds, and they'll just be saying that to each other forever until, of course, they're eradicated by my opponents. So, sad story for them. Iden, with this low of relics on Storm and Death, probably just for offense. I think that if you have a high relic Stormtrooper and Shore Trooper, high being like at least relic 5 at the minimum, then you can give Wampa a lot of issues, a lot of trouble. They'll just time that Wampa out potentially. This isn't timing any Wampa out, and this kills a lot of stuff. This will kill CLS teams, for instance. It'll kill Mon Mothma. It wasn't killing CLS for a while because of that Chupio Kron. Chupio Kron's not here anymore. Have fun. Open season. The Night Sister team, I think this is what I'm gonna do. So I have the Zeta and the Omicron on Marin. I also have the Zetas and Omicron on Massage. I don't want to miss out on using those, and so this is the team that I'm probably gonna try this season with them. Oh gosh, no relics. I just got Marin up to 4 stars. She She still does so well, guys. Her mechanics are crazy, and she also has a revive mechanic as well, and so this team isn't completely helpless even without Old Daka. I don't know what we're using Old Daka for. I didn't even include her on this sheet. If you have a Supreme Leader Kylo, I guess you can use Daka with Zombie or with Supreme Leader Kylo. If not, you'll find a place for them, and, you know, if we're being flexible, like this squad, I don't have to use this composition. We could always drop someone for someone else. I think this is the squad I'm going to start with initially. Just keep in mind, this doesn't have the crazy survivability without Relic 5 Old Daka there to just like take a big hit, or like an AoE from Anakin, for instance, in 3v3 from the Qui-Gon team. Old Daka is like, hey, do you guys want revived? Because I saw that you just got destroyed by that dude. And, you know, they're dead, so they can't say anything, but she revives them, and, you know, life goes on for a while, for them at least, till they die again. But, the squad doesn't have that, so you gotta be cautious. And there's no zombie here to revive anyone, so, yeah, this is more like, well, like, judge who you're facing before you jump in with this. It might just be a better idea to have Old Daka instead of Marin here. I'm not sure. Maybe we just move Asajj over to lead, and then Old Daka can hang out. I'm not sure. Most people are wise enough not to put an Omicron on both Akbar and Leia. I'm not, so this is the squad that I ended up on. This is probably 3 characters you don't want to have relics on at this point in the game, at any point in the game, but yeah, Stormtrooper Han's pretty good with this comp though. Like this is pretty good. We kill Adrad teams who are stupid enough to not have a tank on them. It's the Cassian fallacy. They're like, hey, gotta have Relic 8 character on there. It's like, well, that's awesome. Thanks for letting me shoot Adrad and go fish hunting. So I have Red Trooper relic now because of Leviathan reasons. So we're trying him on defense with Hux and crew. Instead of my Relic 1 OG Kylo. My Relic 1 OG Kylo, maybe I don't know, like Relic 1 isn't that much. He can solo some stuff in 3s though. Maybe we'll try that a little bit. Probably not. Bad Batch, I already talked about them. They do a lot of cool stuff. In this iteration of Datacrons. So keep it for offense. You want a fast echo so that you can do fun things. 348. Look at that, I don't even have 6E on a couple of these mods. Let's see, can we just, gosh, this isn't a very fast mod, but I have so much material here, guys, I may as well. Look at that, we got +4 off flat offense. It's really good, but now look at how fast he is, 349. He must be fancy, so good for you, Echo. Just go kill stuff, I guess. If you have Geos, they are a team. If you have this, like I wrote "heh" here because it's just like, hey, I have some leftover Empire characters that aren't completely terrible. I wouldn't like recommend this on, like, don't put it on defense. It might kill something on offense. Like Thrawn he deserves a place, but like where should he? It's funny, I don't even have relics on him. I guess if I want to say the Eternal Emperor one day, I will. We have Fin Poe here. Guys, if you have Zori, then I guess just swap out Resistance Hero Poe and put Zori here. I just don't have a good Zori, so we have Resistance Hero Poe instead. Eventually, maybe we'll get Zori on this account. But man, I'm so Zeta hungry right now. It's hard to justify. And then Ewoks, like don't even bother. But I placed them here anyways because I have an Omicron, and that's it, guys. Yeah, lots going on in this 3v3 season. I hope you have a lot of success. And now I've got to go to work. So guys, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care, everyone.